Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. If you clicked on this video today, you're probably just as excited for the big blue dragon as I am. For those of you who don't know, Bandai has just released the new original four emperors for OP17, and Kaido is one of them. He reads, when attacking / on opponent's attack once per turn, don -1, up to one of your opponent's characters gain -2000 power during this turn. My opinion, this is one of the strongest leader effects that we have ever had, and it's extremely versatile. It can be used both offensively and defensively, and on offense, the fact that you can give something -2000 for the entire turn means that your opponent's going to have a really hard time keeping their characters on the board. And it's not just the leader that was revealed. They also revealed two SRs that are both 10 drop 12Ks, both Kaidos. The first is a blocker. Your turn once per turn, when a Dawn card on your field is returned to your Dawn deck, add up to one Dawn card from your Dawn deck and set it as active, then set up to one of your Dawn cards as active. So this is a card that will generate value every single turn. So it's a card that you really want to play out as soon as you can. And the other one is all of your character cards without a counter have plus 1000 counter. And activate made once per turn, Dawn -1. If this character is played on this turn, negate the effect of up to one of your opponent's characters with the cost of 6 or less and KO that character. So this is a card that essentially, I mean, it just gets rid of an L, gets rid of a lot of pesky stuff that is unkillable, perhaps like Jesus Burgess from Blackbeard, and then maybe a lot of yellow stuff that you don't really want to KO, like Kiku and Nami. But other than that, the fact that it only costs it can target a 6 or less is a little bit underwhelming in my opinion. And it looks like the negation of the effect only can happen if the character is already 6 or less. So this means that any character that has already buffed its cost to be more than 6 seems like it will not work. So that's a little bit underwhelming there. The first effect, the fact that all your character cards that counter gain plus 1,000 counter seems to be quite nice, as this deck is looking like it's going to be running a lot of breaks. And so my first impression of these cards is that they're not amazing by themselves. The fact that they're 10 drops, you'd kind of expect them to be a little bit better. But I do think that with the cards that we already have for the Animal Kingdom Pirates, it's actually quite easy to hit the 10 Dawn. We already have a lot of ramp cards in Archetype that are already very good. So the most prevalent being the 6-drop King from EB04. So if this character would be KO'd, you may return one Dawn card from your field to your Dawn deck instead. Activate main if your leader has the Animal Kingdom Pirates types and you have no other King characters, add up to one Dawn card from your Dawn deck instead of as active, and add up to one additional Dawn card and rest it. So already on 6 Dawn, you can drop this and you can already ramp twice. So if you were to go second, you would be 10 Dawn on your 8 Dawn turn. If you're on odd curve, we have this card already. The Queen, 1 drop. You may trash one Animal Kingdom Pirates type card from your hand, draw 2 cards. Activate main once per turn, you may rest 2 of your Dawn cards. If your leader has the Animal Kingdom Pirates type, add up to 1 Dawn card from your Dawn deck and rest it. So if you're going odd on 3, you can drop this, and then you can immediately ramp with it. And then next turn, you will already be at 6 Dawn, and you can play this King, ramp twice, and next turn you already be at 10 Dawn. So originally, what would have been your 7 Dawn turn, you are already at 10 Dawn. And so that makes this 10 drop KO Kaido quite interesting because it would be your 7 Dawn turn. So if your opponent, for example, let's say it's an NL, if they go second, the first time that they can drop their NL is actually on their 6 Dawn turn. So if they drop their NL, you can immediately use this Kaido next turn to remove it, which is kind of cool. But most likely, and basically all other matchups, I would imagine, you'd be dropping this blocker Kaido on your 7 Dawn turn going first. So that is very, very strong. And then you can start using your leader effect. And we actually have a lot of other cards that I think are very interesting that can already make this deck very, very strong. So the first one is this Charlotte Linlin that was revealed with the new structure decks. It's coming up along with the Charlotte Katakuri, and it's their new boss monster. But it's not leader locked. So on play, Dawn -4, you may trash one card from your hand, add up to one card from the top of your deck to the top of your life cards, then up to one of your opponent's character's base power becomes 0 during this turn. So, if you already have this blocker Kaido on your board, as well as this king on your board, and if you went first, what would originally be your 9 Dawn turn, you can now drop this Linlin, you Dawn -4, and then with this Kaido, you get 2 Dawn back. One as active from your Dawn deck, and then set up to one of your rested as active. So you would have 7 Dawn in your field, 2 of them as active. And then with this king, you add up another active and then another rested. And then you can use your leader effect on the same turn if you wanted to. And then the turn after that, you would be back at 10 Dawn. I think that's a little bit insane. The fact that you can use this Linlin, and then let's say you save your leader effect offensively and you use it defensively, because why would you need it to use offensively if you already set something to 0? And the next turn you can just do the same thing. And not only that, you'll have 3 active Dawn after you play this Linlin. With that 3 active Dawn, you can search for your next turn's play. So we also have this card from OP07. If your leader has the Animal Kingdom Pirates or Big Mom Pirates type, look at 5 cards from the top of your deck, reveal up to 1 Animal Kingdom Pirates or Big Mom Pirates type card other than this card, I would imagine, and add it to your hand. So we have a searcher, event searcher, for both Animal Kingdom Pirates and Big Mom Pirates. So this card is actually searchable. And along in the archetype, we also have this nice removal that can KO 2 6 or less. And if you're at 10 Dawn and you use this, you can essentially be back at 7 Dawn. And you can, for example, maybe you can even just drop another Sakazuki. So currently, this is kind of what the deck is looking like. So right now we don't have any 2Ks. The only 2K that's even available right now is Black Maria and Animal Kingdom Pirates. And here we just kind of have a placeholder. And then so here we have like the KO Kaido, and this is like a placeholder for like the blocker Kaido. So obviously you want to run cards like Mamaragon your deck. Maybe you want to have a couple KO spells. Perhaps you want to have Frankie because you really want to have more card draw in this deck and filter, because you do run a lot of bricks and all these cards you do have to trash a card to play. So this deck is already shaping up with even just the cards that we have right now. It's already shaping up to be, in my opinion, an extremely strong deck. The fact that on odd curve you can be 10 on what was originally your 7 on turn with the cards that we already have, and on even dawn you can be 10 on your 8 on turn quite easily with just this one king card. I think this deck is actually quite consistent for a ramp deck, and it's extremely strong. For cards that I would probably like to see revealed that could make this deck even stronger, we definitely need a top 5 in Archetype Searcher that's a character, right? And it needs to be not like a page, a queen, or a Kaido or something like that that can't search itself. And it would be nice if we could have another way to, if your like 2K was like a 3-drop ramper, so that if you don't hit your queen on odd curve, you can ramp again. And honestly, there's not really, other than that 10-drop 12K blocker, there's not another blocker in the set. So if we could get a good, cheap trump blocker, I feel like that would be also really helpful. And we already have a lot of cards that can already go well into the deck. Gum Gum Lightning, for example. Obviously, Mamaragon in combination with Sokka and Linlin is going, in general, it's just a must-have card. And this deck is already shaping up to be, in my opinion, one of the top meta contenders for OP17. But we'll see. And let me know what you think of the deck. Comments. Is this deck going to be the truth? Once the cards gets revealed, I'll definitely come and revisit this. I'm really excited to be able to play it, to be able to play on the sim. But that won't probably be for a while. But till then, peace. Take care.